Forgive me if the quality of this video is pretty bad, but I'm recording this from my iPod Touch that was from several fucking years ago, so that's what I'm doing. Anywho. So, I disagree. I'll be honest with you, the Nintendo Direct was pretty good, and I did like it. I did like a lot of the games they announced. They announced Rise of the Tomb Raider and a bunch of other games that I want. I bought Rise of the Tomb Raider today. I bought that 4K upgrade, Switch 2 upgrade for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition because I already owned the game. I already owned not the physical game, but the actual game. And I also bought, I think I bought Scribblenauts because it looked pretty good to me. I might have owned another copy of that game on another platform, but I bought the Switch version. So let's talk about a little bit about achievements, okay? Because Lord knows Nintendo don't have achievements. So Nintendo's thoughts on achievements being oh, we don't wanna. They're basically saying that they don't want to. I hate this person. They're basically saying that they don't want to add achievements just because if they add achievements, it'll disenfranchise a bunch of people who don't get the achievements. It's crazy, right? But literally, yeah. So apparently, that's their philosophy. They're thinking. I'll tell you, it's a very outdated way of thinking because there's no fucking way in hell that that's okay for anybody, because number one, having achievements is not a big deal for most people. For most people, it's not a big deal, I mean, yes, the game has achievements. Yes, people like to go out and get every single achievement. That doesn't mean I'm disenfranchised because people are getting achievements and I'm not getting in the game. I'll be honest with you. I like to play through the game, get as many achievements as possible in one playthrough, and then I'm pretty much done with the game. There's been quite a few times where I've gone out and gotten every trophy in a game. That was during the PS3 days, and I don't do that anymore. I think there was one PS4 game where I got all the fucking trophies, and that was only because you get the trophies as you play through the story. And that game was, I believe, if I recall, Tales from the Borderlands. I think that was it. Tales from the Borderlands. You get all those trophies from just playing the story. But see, the problem is, a lot of people are sitting there saying, "Oh, well, I can't, I don't have these achievements, so I'm like, I don't know what Nintendo's thinking. Nintendo's thinking is so stupid." But no one would be complaining about not having achievement or having achievements in their game on Nintendo's platform. If you had achievements, like actual onboard achievements, I think a lot of people would be excited. They'd be like, "Yes, finally, Nintendo's competing with the heavy hitters. Nintendo's competing with Sony and Microsoft and Steam and Epic Games and all these other companies that have achievements." That's a funny thing. Every single company that does a game distribution service, that allows you to buy and play video games, has achievements other than one, and that being Nintendo. Figure that out. Well, actually, no. Blizzard doesn't have them. But I'll tell you what, Blizzard's now owned by Microsoft, so it's only an inevitability to when they're going to come to, Battle.net. If they don't fold Battle.net into the Xbox app, for example. Yeah, it's just one of those Nintendo things that I fucking hate, I hate the idea that Nintendo just sits there and they decide what to do and what not to do versus their fans telling them what to do and what not to do. They try to act like they know better, and they don't. I guarantee it's like with Microsoft. Microsoft was sitting there saying, "Oh, we're going to release our games on everything. Games on our platform are not going to be exclusive. Exclusives are kind of dead." They were saying all this dumb shit. And then what happens? People stop buying their games on their platform, and people stop buying their platform. They stopped competing, so people stopped treating them as an option. They just went with PS5 and PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 and Switch 1. or PC, you know. And the most ridiculous thing is, I think the new Xbox CEO took a look at that, and they're like, yeah, that's why we're not doing so well, because we aren't competing. You know, that's why there's a few games that's only been announced too, but a few games from Xbox are going to be exclusive. I think it's Clockwork Revolution and that game Gears of War E-Day. I'm looking forward to Gears of War. Clockwork Revolution kind of seems ridiculous, but anywho, see you.